to Saudi Arabia, we've gone into Iraq, we've gone into Iran, we all of these nations that we continue to fight against, people continue fighting against people. And these nations, our nation fights against other nations. We fight against flesh and blood, don't we? When our soldiers go to war, they are looking at an enemy of some kind, whether it's in a German uniform or a Japanese uniform or a North Korean uniform, or whether it's in a Al-Qaeda turban. They have somebody that they can see to fight against. But our warriors can stand strong because they know they have the full weight and the full support and the full strength of the people and the government of the United States backing them and supporting them. They can stand strong and they can stand firm because they know what they're fighting for. They know the people at home that love them and care for them and need their support, that need them doing those things. And I recently did a funeral for a gentleman who was in the Korean conflict. And if you don't know a lot of your history, for some reason the Korean conflict has kind of been forgotten about. But the North Koreans rushed the border and just overwhelmed South Korea. And they came into the only place that the Americans could set up a defense was called Busan. And they set up a perimeter, about a 30-mile circle around the city of Busan. And it was a understaffed, undertrained, undermanned American fighting force that was there in Busan. And they were doing all they could, and it was vicious hand-to-hand combat. And this gentleman that I knew was one of the very first relief troops brought into Busan to help to defend and push back the North Koreans. Did an outstanding job. But I would ask him about that conflict. I would ask him about his time, trying to hear some of those stories that to try to understand. And his response was always, I saw things no person should ever have to see. It's hideous. It is hellish, is all that can be said about war. There is nothing glorious. There is nothing honorable. War is hell. Okay? It's just something we don't want to do. But our soldiers stand firm and they stand strong. And in World War II, December of 1944, Germans made a last great ditch effort to try to turn the tide. We refer to it as the Battle of the Bulge. And there was a small little town in Belgium known as Bastogne. And a very small, just a few hundred American 101st Airborne troops held the city of Bastogne. And it was a major crossroads that the Germans needed to continue in their push. And these few hundred American soldiers were completely and totally surrounded by the German forces. Every side of thousands of